team, let's get ready for next part. We're gonna float down all together onto the mat, and then we have lots of abs. So get ready to fire up your center again. So whenever you're ready, feet shoulder width apart. Again, get that wonderful alignment. Ear, shoulder, hips, and heels in one line. Extend the legs. And then exhale, chin to chest, and roll down, vertebra by vertebra. When you observe the movement arrives in the lower back, feel free to bend the knees. So you can bring the hands on the floor. And then crawl forwards into your basic plank position. Inhale to hold shoulders above the wrists. Exhale, press out of your shoulder blades. Squeezing the glutes. Also here, we're gonna try to pull the pelvis line up towards the ribs. We're gonna tuck the sacrum and the tailbone under. And then we come into the up stretch. So inverted V, press the floor away from you. Look to your toes. And then we're gonna inhale, lift the heels. Please don't shift your weight into your hands. And exhale, the heels are melting down. Inhale, lift, sit bones are still pulling up. Exhale, allow the heels to melt down. Yes, so try to pull your breastbone towards the ankles. Try to keep your spine super long, just getting the blood circulation going in the hamstrings. Waking up the whole body, arms, shoulders are pushing the floor away from you. Last one. And then keep the heels down and bring the knees finally into the ground. Lengthen the toes and then push yourself into kind of a child's pose. Okay, from here, we're gonna wave through the spine. I have 3 options for you. We're gonna start with option number 1. So option number 1, with the exhale, you shift the weight into your hands. At the same time, you round the back. Look to your belly button. Inhale. Allow the pelvis to melt down a little bit, but don't sag. Keep the core engagement. And then come back the same way. Exhale. Inhale, butt cheeks connecting with the heels. Round your back as you shift your weight into your hands. Inhale, keep that nice posture, pulling the pelvic line towards the ribs. And exhale again. Really, find that tuck. Okay. Maybe that works well for you and you want to include a little bit more arm work. Then inhale, we're gonna bend the elbows close to your rib cage. Exhale, stretch the elbows the same way. Around and move backwards. Inhale, butt cheeks kissing the heels. That's option number 2. Adding a little push-up. Squeezing the glutes. Triceps is extending the elbows. And then shoot back. Please keep the shoulders down. Option number 3. We stay bent in the elbows. And we try to push the body down and back. Yeah, maybe you just want to have a look first. So I come forwards, I bend the elbows, and then I send my body back from below, like this. Shoulders down, choose your option now. Let's go for 3 more rounds. Exhale, diving forwards. Inhale, bend the elbows. Maybe stretch up again. This is quite intense, quite advanced. Make sure to keep that core engagement throughout the whole exercise so you're not hurting your back. Follow your breath. All right, when you have arrived in the child's pose, just roll up vertebra by vertebra. Okay, now let's sit down on the mat. Throwing the legs forwards, make sure you're sitting at the very beginning of your mat so you have lots of space to roll down in a second. Let's start with a little half roll down, feet hip width apart, grab the back of your thighs. Come up onto your sit bones, so lengthen the spine through the crown of the head upwards. So from here, we're just gonna exhale, pull the belly button in and up. That's why the spine is rounding. And inhale all the way up. Exhale to round. Keep the shoulders down, look forwards. Okay. So here, I try to bring my whole spine into the C curve. Yeah, I always love to start with that classic one because we bring some freedom, some flexibility into the whole spine. That's what we need for complete classic roll up. Okay, last one. Good job. And then stay straight in your spine. Keep that flat back. Extend the legs now. Connect the heels. Really squeezing the heels together. You touch the diagonal shoulder with your hand. And then you're lifting the elbows. Now, whenever you're ready, inhale to lean back with a flat back. And then when you arrived here, we're gonna exhale, just tucking the sacrum under, just the sacrum. So I try to keep the upper part of my back long. And then you start to go for some teeny tiny rotations. The rotation comes from the thoracic spine. So keep squeezing the heels together. The legs are not moving. The pelvis is stable. Whoo! Keep going. Please breathe. Breathe in. And out through pursed lips. Yes, lengthening through the crown of the head. Yeah, there's still length in the spine, so it's like the screw. Yeah, we're lengthening and rotating at the same time. Whew, the last 2 breaths. One more breath. And then with the exhale, you return, and with the inhale, come back up. Oh, did you feel your obliques and straight and deepest abdominal muscles? I did. When you're okay with your lower back, then you can roll down completely. If not, yeah, if you have some issues or tightness in the lower back, just bend the legs again, hold onto the backside of your legs, and go for an assisted roll down. Yeah, so choose your variation, come down safely onto your back, resting the head on the ground, and bring the feet hip-width apart onto the floor. Nice job. So let's bring that triangle of your hands, so thumbs and index finger together again onto your pubic bone. And let's start with pelvic clock again. So very classic start here. So exhale, tuck the tailbone under, and inhale, come back to neutral. So the triangle is moving towards you as you exhale. And inhale, the triangle is quite parallel to the floor. Yeah, you have a little bit of space underneath your lower back. Again, try to get the most power for that movement of your abdominals. Try to relax your glutes a bit. Okay. When you're familiar with that and you want to progress, lift the legs into tabletop and go for the same movement here. You start the movement with the pelvis. Exhale and inhale. You're not moving or you're not changing the angle in your knees. The legs are just moving as a result of the pelvic tilt. Whew, my abs are shaking. Relax the shoulders, chin slightly to the chest. Ay, 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 last 2. And with the last round, you try to keep the lower back on the ground, pelvic line towards the ribs. Extend the right leg up towards the ceiling and grab the back of your thigh. Now with the next exhale, lift head and shoulder blades off the floor. Inhale, extend the left leg forwards. Bring it back the same way, exhale. And drop the head down, inhale, but keep the imprint position. Try not to pull with your hands. Try to lift with the powerhouse. So as you exhale, you try to bring the ribs closer to your pelvis. Okay, let's go for 2 more rounds. Try to point your feet lengthening the leg. So pull the leg out of your hip. And then we stay lifted in that chest lift. We keep the left leg extended. Now from here, bring the fingers behind your ears or support the head with the hands. And exhale, bring the legs together, squeeze. So I'm crossing my legs. And inhale, down. Exhale, up and press. Imagine squeezing that orange between your thighs. If you have any issues with your neck, you can also drop the head, but then it's a bit more intense to keep that imprint position. Be aware of that the lower back is grounding. Oh, frog in my throat. Yes, when you're still in the chest lift, keep that fist between chin and chest. And we're gonna go for 2 more. Last one. And then keep the legs together and finally drop the head. When you feel some tightness in your hamstrings or things getting too challenging, then you can bend the legs so we arrive in a tabletop position. I would love to go for some corkscrew exercises here. So keep the pelvis heavy and don't move the pelvis, okay? So pelvic line towards the ribs. And then we're gonna start to circle the legs. Exhale down and legs are moving away from you. Inhale, circle towards you. Exhale away from you. And inhale towards you. You can just keep the hands behind the back, or what is also very helpful, hands underneath the booty. Okay. Exhale away from you, squeeze the legs together, and inhale towards you. You can also press the arms down into the ground beside your body. Okay, last one. And then don't forget to reverse the circle. Exhale, half circle away from you. Inhale, half circle towards you. Yeah, especially the exhale gives you that power in your powerhouse so you're not moving into a hollow back. Yeah, just make the circle as big as you can. Keep the pelvis heavy on the ground. You can also go for some femur arcs. Yeah, little reminder for you. Just circling the knees around the hip joint. Whew, finish your last circle. And then finally bend the knees, bring the knees close to your chest, grab the shins with your hands, and just circle your legs. Oh, let's go for a little break here. So keep the right leg just above the left leg. And then you can bring the left foot down onto the ground, pretty close to your glutes. Open the arms to the side and then allow the legs to drop to the left side. Keep the right shoulder grounded, especially the shoulder blade. And then look to the right side. Get a lovely twist into the lower back. So we have a little stretch in the lower back and some opening for the obliques. Breathe into your belly now. That's pretty nice to intensify the stretch in your lower back. And then bring the gaze up to the ceiling. Return with your legs. And bring both feet hip-width apart, parallel to the ground again. Okay, let's start over to the other side. So really make sure to tuck the tailbone under imprint position. Lift the legs into tabletop. Extend the left leg up to the ceiling, grab the back side of your thigh, and then let's get ready. With that exhale, we're gonna lift the head, look to your thigh. Inhale, extend the leg, bring it back the same way, and return on the ground. Yeah, try not to look up to the ceiling. Look to your thigh to keep the neck neutral. And inhale, sink down. Find your rhythm with your breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend. And release. Try not to pull with your arms. Yeah, maybe release the arms to really make sure to get the power out of your abdominals. With the next round, we hold it. Keep both legs long. Bring the fingertips behind your ears or hands behind your head, and then with the exhale, squeeze the legs together. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower down. Yeah, if you have any issues with your neck, drop the head down, chin to chest slightly. You got this. Last 3. Last 2. Don't forget to squeeze the legs against each other. Inner thighs are working, pelvic floor is more engaged. And then keep the legs together, hold the pressure, maybe go for some femur arcs, drop the head. There's no space underneath your back. You hold that position. As you start to circle, exhale away from you and inhale towards you. Yeah, in those femur arcs, we have the knees circling around the hip joints. In the corkscrew, or it's a variation of the corkscrew, you're gonna circle with the ankles around your hip joints. Okay, finish your last circle here, and then switch the direction of the circle. Pelvic lumbar stability, no movement in your pelvis, no movement in your lower back. Last 3. Maybe the circle is tiny today, maybe the circle is big. Yeah, just be curious how big the circle can be today without moving your hips, your pelvis. And then when you finish your last circle, just bend the knees, bring the knees in, and just recover. You can rock from side to side. You can circle the knees. And then, of course, we also have that spinal rotation to the other side. So keep the left leg above the right. Bring the right foot down pretty close to your body. Arms to the side. And drop the legs to the right. Gaze to the left. Left shoulder blade is touching the floor. Yeah, maybe the knees are floating. That's okay, but keep the shoulder blade grounded. Breathe deeply into the belly. You allow the abs to relax so they can come back stronger in a second.